Hello guys, it is Shivam here. Welcome to our new video where we are going to make a codes app with the help of Flutter from the scratch. So in our this video we are going to cover a stunning user interface, API integration, codes, categories and many more. So do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button and show your support by hitting that like button to this video. Now let's get started. So now let's move and develop this awesome code app from the scratch. So in this code app, I am going to do something like this. Here, I'm going to use a API. So I have getting a lots of requests that please make a video where you can integrate the other backends rather than a firebase, because we have already made a lots of video in the firebase like barber booking app, chat app, e-commerce app, online e-commerce app, food delivery app and many more apps. So you can find the link in the description box. So on the special demand, I have tried to make this video where I'm not going to use a firebase, rather than I'm going to use an API integration where we are getting a code from the API, and here there will be a different categories in this code app, and through the selected category the user can see the code related to that respective day, or you can say many codes in that day. Now after this, let me show you the API that we are going to use. So here you move and here you can see the API, which is API Ninjas. So this is a website where you will find that there are lots of APIs that you can use. Like this is for, I have opened for a code API, so I'm going to use this API. But if you want to use some other APIs for other apps like recipe, nutrition, like holiday, logo, it's also provide a weather report, so weather, a world time, a country, air quality, crypto price, convert currency, crypto symbol. So there are lots of APIs in API Ninjas. So this is a best website to simply integrate the API in the Flutter app, and it has very simple document, and it just not complicate the developer by providing many more things in the document. They only provide the things required to integrate the API and what all things you will get once you call an API. So this is one of the APIs that I will recommend you to use in the Flutter app if you have any special demand that they are providing. After this, let's move to the code API, and I'm going to use this API call in the Flutter app. So here you can see a category and we need to pass a different category, and here you can see a list of different categories. Now for an example, if I want to pass famous, so I will copy this category and will just paste for here, and we can see a live demo. So we'll send a request and we'll wait for a few seconds, and here you can see that a famous, and it simply pass I don't feel famous by Uma Thurman. I hope that I have spelled the author name correctly. If not, then sorry. So here it is a famous quote given by this author, and let's move to the business and we'll copy this and we'll paste it over here. Yeah, and let's send the request again, and here it's like it's the artist's business to create sunshine when the sun fails. Yeah, by Roman Roland. So it's a business category, so you will get a different code like each time you call an API. Now here we need to pass a header key to call this API. So I will show you how I will do that. So let's move to the Flutter app first, and we'll first create the UI of our code app. Then I will show you how to integrate the API in this Flutter app. But before we move forward, I want to introduce you with app crafting. So if you are looking for an app for your business, school, etc., now don't look further, because we are going to make your budget friendly app from the scratch for both Android and iOS. You can contact us with our email or Instagram ID and get your first app with app crafting. Now let's move to the app. Now here in the leaf folder, I will create a new folder named pages here. Inside the pages folder, I will create a new file which will be simply our home page. So we'll write home.dart and first we'll import the package by using material.dart. Now we'll simply call a stateful widget and we'll write a stateful widget name which will be home, and we'll write scaffold body container child column and a child. Now here you can see that there is some blue lines under each widgets. I usually tell in my each of the videos, but I'm telling it again. You can add a two lines in the rules section to remove this blue lines from this widgets. Now let me add that two line over analysis options.yml file. So these are the two lines that I'm going to use in the rules section, and it will almost remove that blue lines under the widgets. So here it is. Now we'll simply save that file. Yeah, we'll first save that file, and here you can see the blue lines remove from the widgets. Now after this, here I need to pass a background image. So I have saved one image in the images folder. So this is a background image that I'm going to use on this app. So to call this image from the images folder, I need to simply first assign the folder name that where I have stored this image file name. So do not forget to change this from the perspective file, otherwise you will simply get an error. Now after this, we'll simply write image.asset, and we'll write our folder name which is images and a image file name which is simply a background image.jpg. So here is this image file name. Now we can simply pass the height, which will be media query dot of context dot size dot height, and the use of media query is something that makes your app highly responsive, though I've told many times in my videos. Now we'll pass a width media query dot of context dot size dot width and fit box fit dot fill. Yeah. Now let me call this page so that I can show you the background image that we have added. So let's call this home page from main.dart. Yeah. So here it is, but here you can see that the stretch of this image makes this screen weird. So I will simply pass dot cover. So here it is. I don't want that this gift at the side of the image because this will look weird. So this is the perfect background image for this app. Now here you can see the debug check banner at the top right. So you can simply remove by simply passing debug so check mode banner to false, and it will simply remove that banner from the top right. Now after this, let's move to the home.dart, and here I need to simply first pass my app name. So let me think the app name. So let's keep Quotify. So we'll write QUOTFY. So it is just app name which is Quotify. Now here one thing is that we can't pass a column widget because the reason is that the column widget, so pass the text widget, it simply throw an error, and I want to overlap the image than the text widget. So I want to show the text widget just above this image. Now to show that, we need a stack widget. So here we'll simply pass a text widget and we'll simply write the app name that I have just told you now, which is Quotify, and let me pass the text style, the colors dot white. Yeah. So here you can see the text now, and you can simply increase the font size. So that font size 30.0 and font weight will be bold. Yeah, something like this. I need this text over here, so I will simply wrap up with a center widget. I think so that will work. No, it will be in complete center of this phone device. So I need to do one thing. Let's wrap up with a container and then wrap up with a column widget. Yeah. So here now we need to simply pass a margin which will be edge insert dot only from the top, which will be 50.0. So here it is, and here we got our app name which is Quotify. So let me know how you like the app name. So it is something like Spotify, Quotify. Yeah. So after this, now I want to show a different categories that I have told you that our API ninjas provide, which is lots of category, but I will just add 4 to 5 categories. But if you want, you can add some more categories over here. So I will choose some categories like business, or you can say amazing, yeah, education, equality, yeah, something. So let's add that categories over here. So first I'm going to show how to create the container and how to show that categories, and then we'll simply use a list view dot builder, not builder, just a list view to show that categories in the horizontal position. Now we'll pass a row, and here we'll write children. Now we'll create a container. Now here in the container, first I need to pass a decoration, box decoration, the color which will be colors dot simply white. Now after this, I can pass a child, now a text widget again, a text widget. Inside the text widget, our first will be business, so we'll write business. Now the style and a text style. The color will be like colors black dot black. Yeah, and here you can see the first category. We can pass a size box so that there will be space between these two widgets. So here it is. Now so we can simply pass some margin. So let's wrap up with, I think so, wrapping up with the container, we can pass a margin over here. We'll write margin edge inset dot only from the left, which will be 20.0. Yeah. Now, we'll simply pass a font size which will be 20.0, and font weight will be simply bold. So we'll write font weight dot bold. Yeah. Now we can pass some padding to this category. So we'll pass a padding which will be padding edge inset dot only from the, I want from the horizontal. Let's pass dot symmetric horizontal 20.0, and the vertical will be 5. Yeah, and we can simply pass the border radius to this container. So we'll pass border radius dot circular, and we'll simply pass, sorry, dot circular, we'll simply pass 20. Yeah, so this is our first category name, which is business. Now if you want, you can provide some more height from the top. So let's do up to 50. Yeah. Now our second category will be a, let's pass our second category, I think so, let's pass amazing. Yeah, amazing. Let's pass amazing, and we'll paste it over here. We'll write amazing. So our second category, and a third category will be, so now if I'll add third category over here, then it will show the overflow error. Now let me show why it will show and how it will look and how we'll fix that. So we'll paste it over here, container again, and we'll simply call fitness. Yeah, so write fitness, and we'll paste it over here, and we'll simply write fitness. Yeah, so here, as I've told you, that there will be overflow pixel error because we have passed this all in the row widget. Now we need to rename into the list view widget. So we are going to use list view, and we'll simply pass scroll direction, which will be axis dot horizontal. Async and wrap will be true. Yeah. So we'll simply wrap up with a container widget, and we'll simply pass the height up to 30, or let's pass up to 50. I think so 40. Yeah. So here it is. And now you can see a 3 categories that we have just added. Now if you want, let's add 2 more categories, and if you want to add all the categories, you can also do that. It's up to your choice. We'll choose one happiness, and we'll paste it over here. We'll write h happiness, a fourth category, and the last category I'm going to choose like health, I think so. Let's pass knowledge, love. Yeah, money. So love or money. So let's choose love and we'll choose it over here and we'll paste it over here and we'll simply change to capital L. Yeah. So here it is, and here you can see our last category, which is love. Now we can simply pass the margin. I think so I've already passed. We'll pass from the right, which will be 20.0. Yeah. So this is our 5 categories in our quote app, which is business, amazing, fitness, happiness, and love. So after this, we need to keep a track like what option that the user has selected. So for an example, if there will be a business, then we need to change a color or something to show that the user has selected a business category and they don't get confused like which category they have selected. So for that, I need to simply do one thing. I will simply create a boolean character, and here I will create a boolean character for the each one. So I will keep a business true because I will keep as a default. So like as soon as the app opens, it will simply show me the first code related to the business, then the amazing, which will be simply false, and the third will be fitness, and last will be happiness. So we'll just pass fitness to false, and the happiness will be false, and last love will be false. Yeah, something like this. Yeah. Now after this, here I need to simply wrap up with a gesture detector, and in the on tap method we need to pass something. But before that, if business will be true, it means that the user have already selected the business. Then we are going to show the container with a different color to indicate that this option or category has been selected by the user. So we'll paste it over here, something like this. We don't need a gesture detector on this. Yeah, so we'll remove this. Yeah. Now, in the business, what I'm going to do that we'll simply change the color of this container to yellow. So we'll simply select yellow, and here, so we'll simply pass a material widget, and we can pass a elevation by using a material widget, which will be 5.0, and we need to wrap up with a container so that I can provide the margin to this material widget too. So we'll remove this margin from here, we'll paste it over here, and we'll simply pass the border radius and the same border radius that we have passed to the container. So we'll copy and we'll paste it over here, something like this. Yeah, so here it is, and I think so. Yeah, because there is a background image, so you can't see the elevation right now. So I think so elevation will not work over here. So I will simply remove this. Yeah, and wait a second. Yeah, so we'll, so material which it will now not work over here because we have didn't pass any fixed color in the background. We have used a image, that's why we can't see elevation to in the container. And I think so it's look good. We can just simply change the color of the container, and if you want, you can increase a size of an container. So let's increase a font size, which will be 24, and if you want, you can pass some more padding. So this yellow color will simply indicate that which category or option that the user has selected. Now, just below this category, I want to show one container where we'll show the code that has been shown according to the category that the user has selected. So we'll simply pass the height, which will be media query dot of context dot size dot height divided by 2. I'm keeping it divide by 2. Maybe we can change it later. So we'll pass box decoration and we'll simply pass the color, which will be colors dot white. Yeah, so here you can see the container, but we need to also pass a margin. So edge insert dot only from the left 20.0, from the right 20.0. Now we need to also provide the height from the top. So size box height, which will be 40.0. Now we need to also provide the border radius. So we'll write border radius dot circular. We'll keep it up to 20. Yeah. So here you can see a container. So rather than passing a complete white color, let me pass a different black shade so that I can see the background. So here it is, and we can simply pass the color of the code in white so that I can see the text too. So it looks good. By this, I can see the background image that we have added. Now after this, let pass the code. So here I will simply pass the child, the column, and the children. Now we need to pass a code, so I will copy this text widget, will paste it over here. So let me pick some random code. So we'll copy this code and we'll paste it over here. Yeah, and we'll save it. We'll change up to white. Yeah, so here is our code, and we'll change the font size up to 30. I think so it's okay. Yeah, 25. Yeah. Now after this we need to center this, so we'll pass text align, or we can pass a padding edge inset dot only from the left, which will be 50.0, and we can pass main axis alignment dot center. Yeah, and text align, so we'll pass text align dot center, something like this. Yeah, so here it is. I think so let's don't pass a padding, or let's pass from both left and right. Left 10.0, right 10.0. Yeah, I think so. Now it's look good. If you want, you can pass some more padding according to your wish. 30 up to 30. Yeah, so this is the code that we want to show. Now here, after the code is shown, I want to show the author name that have wrote this code. So here in the column widget, I'll copy this text widget again, we'll paste it over here, and we'll simply pass the author name. So the author name is Roman Roland, and we'll paste it over here, and I think so we can do 20.0 W500. Yeah, and the hyphen indicating the author. Yeah, so here it is, and we can pass a size box up to height 20.0, or you can say up to 60.0, and so here you can see a code and the author name that has wrote this code. So we have made a simple, or you can see a beautiful UI of a Quantify app, and here you can see a different categories. Let's move, and what I'm showing you that when the user will tap to this different categories, how the color of this container will be changed, and that will indicate which option that the user have selected. Now after this, here you can see a business. Now I think so I have removed one container from here, so we'll copy this, we'll paste it over here again, and this is amazing. Yeah, so business, amazing, fitness, happiness, love. Yeah, it is done. Now we'll simply change the text to, like, we'll copy this text, we'll paste it over here, something like this. Yeah, and we'll simply wrap up with a gesture detector first, and here in the on tab, first I need to pass a business is equals to true, and the rest will be false. The reason for passing the rest to false is because if we have selected business and the amazing is also true, then we need to change it to false so that we can bring back to this white color to indicate that the which option user has selected. But if you don't pass false, there will be a case like it will don't indicate that which it will indicate like there will be a two or more options selected at a time. So to handle that case, we need to simply pass other two false. Now we need to pass fitness to false and happiness will be also false and love will also false. Sorry, love will also be false. Love will also be false. And the set state. Yeah, so here it is. Now after this we'll copy this and we need to pass this case in each of one. So here rather than doing this, I will copy this complete thing and will paste it over here. And yeah, and we'll change the text to amazing and we'll also change it to amazing. So we'll write amazing and here we'll simply change business to false and amazing will be simply true. Yeah, and same text over here, amazing. Now let's pass all these cases in the different categories that we have added. So there are two more categories. So we'll copy this again and we'll paste it over here. Now we need to change amazing to fitness and we'll also change the text to fit in fitness and business is false, correct? Amazing will be false and the fitness will be true and change the text to fitness. So we'll write fitness. Yeah, fitness. Now two more categories. So these are all the changes that we need to do. Now I will show you what I'm telling. So here the business category is selected. Now I will simply move to the amazing category and here you can see that the business come back to the normal and amazing has been changed to a yellow container indicating that this category has been selected. Now let's select love. So love and the amazing is back into the normal form. So this indicate that which category that the user has selected and by that category we can show the code just down below. So now let's move and we'll connect the API that I have shown you, which is a Ninja API. So here let's move to the Ninja API website and in the codes API you can see that here we are going to use this API over here. So as the user changes any of the categories from here, then we will show that the code here on the home page or in the screen accordingly. So here I need to first create a function name which will be like a fetch code. So we'll write a future and here I will simply pass a void and here we'll simply write a function name which is fetch code and here we need to simply pass the category because we need to pass a category that the user have selected from the categories that we have shown here. Now after showing the category, I want to simply do one thing. I need to first write an async. Now we need to pass a final and a response and in the response I will simply await and here I need to first call a HTTP package so that I can simply call this link and here you can see that a link start from HTTPS. So we need a HTTP package so that I can call this link in the Flutter app and can get the data from there. So it is a get function, as you can see here. So we are going to use http.get here. So there are numerous function that you can use to call the API. That one is post, one is get, and I think so there are some more APIs. If you want, let me know in the comment box. I will try to make all the HTTP request that you are looking for. Let's paste the HTTP package from the perspec.ml file and we'll paste over here in the perspec.ml file. So here in the dependency, I will simply write a package name which is HTTP, and we'll simply call this package, and here you can see that package has run successfully. Yeah, so now let's move to the pub dev, and here I move to the HTTP package, as you can see here, and we'll simply call this import package, and we'll paste it here, and we'll simply write as HTTP. Yeah, so here it is, and you can simply copy this package and you can paste here, though we have already wrote, but you can directly want, you can also copy and paste the package over here. So if you face a version error, simply remove that version. It will take the version according to the Flutter version you are using. Now we can simply write http dot get, and we'll get the URL. So here we need to paste the URL, but before that I need to write URI dot parse, and here we need to parse a URL that I'm going to paste now. So here I need to simply paste that link. So this is the link that I was talking about. So we'll paste that link over here, and here we need to pass an header. So here you will see that there is a header we need to pass, which is a X API key. So first, if you are going to use this API, Ninja's API, directly create an account, like sign up with your account, and it is totally free. You don't have to pay anything to sign up in this API key, in this API. So first sign up and you will get one API, and you can directly use that API in the X API key, and then you can use this link to call the different APIs. Now here we need to pass that X API key in the header so that we can get the data from the link. So first we need to pass a content type. So we'll write content and we'll pass type. So it is an application JSON. So we'll write application and we'll write JSON. Okay. Now after this we need to write exact file name that has been wrote over there. So it is X API, and here it is a key. So now I'm going to paste my key over here. I will recommend you to use your own API key over here. Don't paste my API key because it won't work, because after this video I'm going to remove that API key from the website where I have logged in. Now after this here I need to simply pass like if the response status code if the status code is 200, that means that if the our code has run successfully and they have get all the data while calling this API, then what function we need to execute. So here we need to call a list, because as you see here there is a list and here it is a map. So the thing which appear on the square bracket, it's a list, and the thing which appear on the curly braces is a map. So here you can see a map is a combination of key value pair. So there is a key which is string and the value is also in the string. So we need to call all the things on the string, but I am going to use a dynamic. So for an instance, if there will be anything like a number or a author name is not given, or it is completely blank, then we can directly get the data. We won't face any error. So that's why I'm going to use a map string dynamic, and here I am passing the list dynamic because all the data is in the form of the list then on the map. So first I'm going to call the list. So here I'm going to call the list which is dynamic and will simply name JSON data. Now after this I need to decode the body, so we'll write response dot body, and here we'll write response dot body. Now after this I need to pass if JSON data is not empty. So for an example, I have called the body I'm talking about is this body. So for an example, I have called this list and I've got this as a result as a map, and here we pass the map, and if it is not empty then I will move and will simply call the map. So I have told you this is a map, so we'll call a map and we'll pass a string dynamic. Now after this our map name is quote data is equals to JSON data and a zero because I'm going to get a first map of this list, so that's why I passed JSON data 0. Now after this I need to simply get the code and the author name. So here I'm going to create a string which is first a quote and a second one we can write like author name and a null string. Now here once the map is called I will simply store the data, so we'll write quote is equals to, yeah, quote data, and we'll write exact the quote name. So we'll copy this, we'll paste it over here. It's a quote data, yeah, here it is, and the author name. So we'll write author equals to quote data again, and the exact field name which is author, or you can say a key name, and here it is. So we have stored all the data. Now here when we are passing a category we need to pass a category exactly over here. That's why I can get a detail of that respective, not a detail, a code of that respective category. So here now let's move to this function, and where we are changing the color of business we need to simply call this function so that I can get the data. So I will write fetch code and will write exact a category name which is business, I think so, business, yeah, let's make it small, otherwise it will show that error that the category is mismatch and you can't get the result. So here you pass fetch code and we'll pass a sync. Now we'll pass a wait, sorry, fetch code, yeah, here it is. Now we need to pass in all the respective field. So we'll write a sync, and here is amazing, yeah, and the third one is, I think so, third one is fitness. So we'll write fitness, and fourth one is happiness. So we'll write happiness, fetch code, and it's happiness. So HAPPINESS, happiness, and a last one is love. So we'll write love, sync, paste directly, we'll pass a sync and the love. Okay, so we have called all the function in the respective gesture detector of each category that we have shown here. Now we can simply call them, but before that we need to pass a set state over here so that the data will be changed frequently as we select any of the category from here. Okay, so let's do one thing, let's pass a set state something over here, yeah, and a quote. So we'll simply write a quote over here and we'll write text which it is quote. So we'll write quote and author name. So we'll write author name, so we'll add plus and the author name, here it is, yeah. So here it is. Now let's hot restart the app and let's test the app. So null check character use on the null value. So first of all, it is null because the data haven't passed till now in the code and the author. So our business was a default data for the code and the author. So in the init state, I need to simply first call a fetch code function, and here I need to simply pass a business. So we'll write fetch code and we'll pass business. Yeah. Now let's hot restart the app again. So here you can see a code that we have get from the business. I am no longer dependent on the movie business to make a living. So if I want to make movies as other old guys could play golf, I can. Francis Ford Coppola. Now let's move to the amazing, and when I'll tap to amazing, here you can see that it frequently changed the code to amazing. Now when I'll tap to fitness, it will show me the code related to fitness, and I believe that the best buy in public health today must be combination of regular physical exercise and a health diet by Julie Bissau. So here now our fourth happiness. So here the code regarding happiness, and last one is love. So love, yeah. So as you can see that how our app is working, and by just changing to different categories each time our API is being get called according to the category we have passed, and the data is shown in just a few seconds. So our Qtify app is done, and you have learned lots of things regarding the Flutter and how to fetch the data from the API, and how to use a API to get the data and show them in the Flutter app. So if you want to learn more about the APIs, I have already made a news app and wallpaper app where I have used, I think so, Pixel API, and in the wallpaper app I have used a Pixel API in wallpaper app, and in the news app I have used a news API. So you can get to know lots of things regarding the Flutter and the APIs by following that project too. So you can get to know lots of things regarding that. Now, if you want the source code for this app, I will paste a link in the description box. You can directly get the code for this Quantify app, and do not forget to hit that like button down below because your like is very necessary for us to keep going. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button because by hitting that subscribe button you will be part of our Flutter family. Until then, keep coding, keep having fun. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.